Morning, fellow colleagues and also clients who are actually logging in. Actually, thanks for your time this morning. So I hope everyone had a good breakfast. Today's weather, it's all good. So today we look like the weatherman, right, not Serene?
Yes.
Okay, anyway,
Hosting
thanks
the morning
again.
show.
Yeah, we are hosting a new project talk. So with me, my name is Alex, and with me, I have our project. I see Serene. Serene, can you say hi, Serene?
Hi, everyone.
Yeah. Okay, so basically today we're gonna actually share a little bit about this project that we have on hand called Olloi. So basically, Olloi, just a little bit of a background. It's located in the eastern part of Singapore, near the Katong area, the East Coast area. Okay, so I'm going to share a little bit more about the market first. I think everybody's concerned about the market. So there'll be two parts of it. So first part, I'll be sharing a little bit more on the market, and of course, followed by the second part, which is Serene, which is share a bit more about the project per se, the project itself. So we try to keep it within an hour so that you guys can actually have a good lunch. Yeah. So are we all ready to roll? If we are ready, there's actually a chat box, so you can actually just put in your chat and say, okay, let's roll. Yeah, let's roll, and then I can actually begin. We can see everyone ready. Okay, so can we all just put in the chat, let's roll? Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so a disclaimer. So today, whatever we share, whatever the graphs and charts, it's purely for education purpose. Of course, if you're looking for investment, please also do your own research. Yeah, so this is just part of what we are doing. Okay, hi everyone. My name is Alex. Basically, I'm one of the executive division directors in ERA. Just a little bit of my background. Actually graduated from NIAN with a diploma in the building and real estate management. Okay, so that was some time back. Then after that, I went to the army. After my first career was already in real estate. So right out from the army, I joined the real estate industry. So you can call me the real estate man. My whole life is about real estate, from NIAN all the way to my first job. It's a real estate really. So 14 years ago, I actually joined real estate up to today. Yeah, so I started when I was like 22, a young kid then. Yeah, so of course from there I learned a lot about real estate. I didn't have the chance to, but once I learned real estate, I did the numbers, market sentiment and stuff like that, calculations. Then of course I started investing all the way to today. Okay, so I'm a true believer of real estate. Anything out of real estate, don't ask me. I'm just a real estate person. Okay, so of course today I invest in a couple of properties. And of course, together with my team, we actually currently run one of the largest group in ERA itself, with more than 2,000 agents, Preeminent Group, together with our partners. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to move on to what's more important today. I think a lot of concern today is always going around this pandemic, the COVID-19, right? So we've been hearing COVID-19, what are the impacts. But I think it's everyone's guess what the impact will be. So as a market professional, as an analyst, as a leader, we also, no one know where the market will go. So what we are doing is we're actually taking history, and also trying to understand and depict where the market will hit. Yeah. So one of the things that we can actually benchmark against, because this is COVID-19, it's a serious health crisis around the world. But the most recent one we actually had was actually in 2003. So we're going to take precedence a little bit on that era. So what happened in 2003? I believe everyone can recall. That was around 17 years ago. We had this pandemic called SARS. Okay, it was also a period where people go out with masks, like today, we go out with masks, go for home viewings, yeah. So that was already one of the scares at that time. And the SARS period, for those who are not aware, then I was still a young kid, I was still maybe studying, right? So didn't have much impact on me. So of course, today when we're outside working and as an investor, it's going to be different. Of course, for those who today, you have kids and everything, it's going to affect us in a different way, right? So a same pandemic or a similar pandemic can affect us in a different way as we progress, in life, right? So during the SARS period, then for those who are unaware, actually lasted for a pretty short while. I can say from March to July. That was around how many months? Like four months or so, right? It lasted for around 4 months. And it was one of the pandemics that governments were not prepared. it came as a surprise, a shock, and a surprise is just one fine line away. So yeah, it makes quite a shock, it makes quite a surprise. Then yes, we had this pandemic 2003, which it's remember because it's one of the health pandemics then. So what happened? What was the impact on SARS in Singapore itself? So this statistics was actually in Singapore. Okay, there were actually 280 people affected, and the death rate was 33%. So you can see that it wasn't that contagious as COVID-19, but the thing is this SARS death rate, this fatality rates were actually pretty high. Okay, it was at 14%. So what the governments usually benchmark is first, how fast it spreads, and second, what are the implications of a pandemic on society and things like that. Okay, so for SARS, it was dangerous because it was a 14%, kind of fatality rate. But of course, today we look at COVID-19, we are not there yet. It is contagious, but we don't see such a high fatality rate as of 17 years ago. Yeah. So during SARS, actually, what happened to the real estate market then? I believe everyone would want to know, how does it affect prices? So these are always the very common questions that we get every day since the pandemic happened. Okay, so this is just one of the charts to show you that in 2003, okay, you can see the red column, which is actually during then, there was this SARS period of around 4 months to 5 months. So we just call it 2 quarters. Yeah, so around 2 quarters. Yes, it did affect the real estate prices, okay, by approximately 2.3% over a period of 1 year. So you can see 5 quarters, we can call it maybe 1 year to 1 year, 3 months, right? So for a period of 1 year, okay, although the pandemic SARS lasted for like 4 months, it has a lasting effect on the economy, on property prices by approximately 2.3%. So if you look at it, some may say, hey, it's significant. Some may say it's not significant. But I think to us, we only look at the facts. Okay, so SARS actually affected the market by 2.3% during that phase. If you ask me, I could say it's pretty much negligible based on the scale, of the scare. I don't think this was huge, right, compared to any other crisis. So yes, it did affect the market, but it was like 2.3% over a period of 1 year. And of course, people will say, hey, that's the price. And what you see today in the news is that you see transactions drop by like 40%, 50%. And people will say, oh, the property market is going down. Okay, just let you know what this chart shows you. You can take a look. During the SARS period, it's highlighted in red. There was actually a drop. Okay, there was actually a drop in transactions. So there's a big difference between transactions and prices. Hold on. Okay, there's actually a difference between prices and transactions. So during the SARS period, there was a drop in approximately 40.8% in terms of transaction, right? So whenever something happened, people will get afraid. So when they get afraid, they will just stay back, or they are not making a purchase. So this time round, I would say people probably want to buy, but they can't leave their homes, right? They are at home, and not everybody is used to buying online, although we do see a significant transactions online. So there was a knee-jerk reaction, okay, when things happen, 40%. But after that, within just 1 quarter, I could say around 3 months, it actually made a recovery of 147%. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, what I'm trying to tell you is that, what we're trying to say is that demand can be delayed, but it cannot be destroyed. Okay, yes, you can delay demand, but it cannot be destroyed because why? Buyers have genuine needs, right? Investors, when they have money, they want to invest in different asset classes. So it always can be delayed, but it cannot be destroyed. Just like your McDonald's, right? You cannot go for McDonald's for 2 months, but once it reopens, you will see long queues. You get jammed up, similar to shopping and things like that. So just take note. What we are seeing now is just a temporary dip, in transactions because we can't go out. People can't go out to make their purchase. Okay, but we are very confident that after the gates are open, right? The floodgates are open. People actually come back, going into investments again, or even to buy their own stay. Okay, so this is how we look at it. There are prices and there are also transactions. So remember, what I'm trying to say is that demand can actually be delayed, but it cannot be destroyed. It's just a matter of time. Okay, so always be prepared, to ride the wave when things recover. Okay, so this actually it's an article that shows us what happened in Wuhan, because it started there, right? So you can see that last month China and Wuhan has already been unlocking their lockdowns. You can see people emerging from lockdowns, people celebrating, because in the whole of China, during this period, you can see that those affected by COVID-19, the numbers are actually in the single digit for the entire China. Can you imagine? So this article actually gives us a little bit of hope and a little bit of a vision of what's going to happen, right? We can actually envision what's going to happen to Singapore itself again. Okay, we always take precedence from these places because they are the ones that first got all this, right? So you can also see South Korea unlocking, and also over the past, I saw an article in Hong Kong. In 23 days itself, there were 0 cases. Okay, there were 0 cases. So this actually shows me and gives me confidence that how long will this pandemic last? Okay, you can actually see based on that, it probably will not last like, very long, right? So probably 4 to 6 months, thereabout. And of course, we hope, it can end earlier, with medications and vaccines along the way. Okay, so this actually gives us hope, and where property prices will head, where the economy will head as well. Okay, so there are 2 things that I want to talk about. First, because of this panic, I like to call this the panic, because there's always panic during a situation. So how can we actually position ourselves to profit during this pandemic? Okay, so one of the things is that probably overlooked by a lot of investors. There's this thing called the quantitative easing. Okay, for those who know about it, good. For those who don't, probably let's share a little bit more how actually you can actually profit from the current panic, using this quantitative easing that is happening around the world. So what is quantitative easing and how does it affect the real estate market? Okay, so you can see that in March 15, okay, basically the US Feds, it actually launched a $700 billion quantitative easing program, to actually spruce their economy. So 700 billion, sometimes you may say, sometimes it's not Singapore, what does it mean to us? It doesn't mean anything, right? So we need to know how it actually links to Singapore, okay, because of this quantitative easing. So what is quantitative easing? Okay, it is actually an economic stimulus that, it actually only happened in year 2008 when there was a financial crisis. So this thing actually came about in 2008 to actually stimulate the market. Okay, it's used as a it's used by national economy by making it easy for business to borrow money. So what they're doing here is they are adding a lot of money supply to the market, so that businesses can borrow to actually stimulate the economy again. So let me put it in layman terms. What is it about? Okay, so a lot of people know quantitative easing as this thing called printing of money, right? So we make it very easy. Quantitative easing is printing of money. So for example, you're home, you say, hey, mom, I have no money. So what does your mom do? Your mom prints money if there is, right? So when they print money, means what? They're adding money supply, to the next to the person that actually wants to use the money. So who are actually doing this printing of money? Okay, so in US, they have this Fed, they have the central banks. They actually add, or you want to call it print, new money by adding a few more zeros to their own bank. Okay, really? So it's like you have no money, you will create money from the air. Okay, really? This is something important because why? Okay, you will actually reap the rewards of the overflow of the money supply. So I'm going to go through the details later. So it adds new money into their own bank. And what does the bank do then? Okay, the new money from the government, the new money is used, okay, to buy all your government bonds, assets from the bank, right? So the central bank example, just for example, MAS, right? Singapore is MAS. So in US, it is the Fed. So they print money, they use this money to actually buy off assets and bonds from the banks. So they're actually giving the banks money. Okay, so firms like the banks and financial institutions, they will use this money and they will lend to business, consumers, for them to set up their business, loan, spruce up, float their business. At the end of the day, is to increase consumer spending. Okay, so with all this money to the business employees, they have good income, right? Bosses, they have income. When they have this money, what do? They go on and buy into what we call assets again. So this is how the money flows. So how does it affect Singapore property market? Okay, you can see the first time it was done is actually in year 2008. So there was actually a financial crisis then. Okay, there was a build-up in financial crisis. You can see the markets are going down by approximately 21% then. Okay, it was a pretty hard hit. So they had this first QE by printing $1.5 trillion, okay, by the US. And then what happened to Singapore property prices? It had a rebound by approximately 52%. So ladies and gentlemen, I think 52% is not a small amount. It is an insane amount. Okay, in Singapore, we're only talking about 3 to 5%. You know, last year we had 2.7% increase. 2 years ago, we actually had 7.9% increase. That's about the range, right? 2 to 7%. But you can see over a period of approximately 2 years, Singapore property bounced back by 52%. Okay, so because of that, okay, so QE1 actually came because of that. It increased 52%. And they had the second QE because in the US, they thought maybe they need to do more for their own economy. Okay, they don't bother about Singapore, right? So it's only for their economy. But because of the second package, it continued to increase. So if you look at it, from 2009 all the way to 2014, which is approximately a good 4 or 5 years period, okay, 4 or 5 years period, property market increased by 62%, okay? And that's why the government have to come up with their cooling measures. If not, you will see prices skyrocket. Okay, so you can see QE1, QE2, and QE3. Okay, and you can see that the government is pretty predictable, right? First QE, property market went up. They couldn't stop it. Second, they were monitoring it. When the third QE came, okay, in 2012, they knew they had to do something before prices shoot up the roof again. It may just shoot another 30-40%. So that's why the government actually came up with a lot of cooling measures, approximately 9 rounds of cooling measure, just to cool the market a little bit, you know, by that 11%. But just let you know, it came back by 12% already. Yeah. So end of the day, we're just sharing with you how the QE, you know, actually can affect Singapore property prices in a big way. Okay, so you can see this is the money being pumped into the US economy that actually overflowed into the rest of the world. So it will basically boost Singapore property prices. So are you ready for the next QE? Okay, so they had like 3 QEs, right? So moving forward, what's actually happening in today's market? That was like 10 years ago, but now we're talking about what's going to happen today. On 23rd of March, there was an article, you know, not an article, there was an event that happened. You know, Fed actually said that they wanted to spurs and stimulate the economy again, and they have declared that they will start an unlimited QE program. So ladies and gentlemen, unlimited means you have a bank that will provide you unlimited amount of money whenever you want it, whenever you call for it. Okay, so this is how aggressive, you know, the Fed in the US is actually helping, you know, trying to boost the economy. So unlimited QE, they don't even dare to specify an amount. They just want to say, I want unlimited access to all the monies that I can actually have. So this is what the Fed has said. Okay, so yes, okay, they have pledged unlimited quantitative easing to keep markets from fluctuating. Unlimited. Okay, so who actually benefited from this QE? Okay, so over the past few years, those who actually invested in asset, it can be of any asset class, it can be stocks, it can be real estate, they actually benefited because of this inflation, right? There's this inflation, there's a lot of money going on, they actually benefited. Of course, banks, private property owners, you know, they actually benefited all these years. So for those who are holding on to private properties for the past 10 years, I believe you have easily, maybe even doubled your money, you know, these past 10 years, right? So of course, who missed these opportunities? Savers, you know, for those who understand, if you continue to put your money in the bank, you will lose out because the money will just start to deflate, right? And of course, buyers waiting to buy. Why do we say this? Okay, because there are a lot of people that will be sitting on the fence, right? Today, maybe you say, hey, maybe now COVID-19, I want to wait a while. This is a very normal mindset. But of course, we must understand how long you should wait also, right? So if today the property price is 1 million and you wait, and this QE syndrome comes into Singapore, it becomes 1.1 million. Isn't that losing out by 100,000 already? So waiting also has a time frame. Or don't wait too long because this money will come into Singapore very soon. It will affect the property market. Okay, so don't wait too long, because if you wait for 2-3 years, then you see you miss the whole entire thing. Maybe you miss out another 20% gain, right? So we don't know, but try not to wait too long. Okay, so of course those who missed out, of course, are also the HDB flat owners, because today HDB, as you know, their mission is to just have a roof over our heads, right? It's no longer seen as an investment product, and their valuations and appreciations are all kept by HDB already. So whatever happens to the market, it will not affect HDB owners. HDB is a category just for a roof over our heads, probably to preserve the wealth may be preserved, but you will not ride the wave with the QE boost. Okay, so this is something factual. Okay, so I'm sorry to offend anyone, but this is facts. As investors, we need to know what are the different asset class that we can benefit over time. Okay, so you can see this is a similar chart. So today, if you look at it, okay, moving forward, okay, where would property prices go with unlimited QE? Is anyone's guess, but if you ask me, if you look at statistics, I'm pretty confident, even with all the 9 rounds of cooling measures, they are unable to suppress the market, because as I mentioned to you, demand cannot be destroyed. It can only be delayed, right? So when people start to come back, people say, hey, maybe the cooling measures will affect the market, but they will still come back. So end of the day, with this QE, it actually boosts a little bit more confidence into the market, right? So if tomorrow there's a vaccine, or tomorrow they find a cure, I think we probably have missed the boat already. So this is why in real estate we are supposed to buy and wait, not just wait to buy. You may miss the boat, right? So we are supposed to buy whenever you can, based on today, your income, buy it, and then you wait for the upside. So this is how we actually advise all our clients. Okay, so you can see so these are all how much it affected the property prices. The green one refers to all the QE. Okay, so second thing that I want to talk about, is actually how we can profit is this, where there is this safety net, okay, by government intervention. So what do I mean by that? I need to show you a very nice picture. So what is this? This is a Singapore float right now. Singapore float. So I like to call it the Singapore float. Why? Guys, I'm a real estate believer. Okay, why do I want to talk about this Singapore float? I want to ask everyone a question. Today, we in Singapore, we have a lot of different assets. Name me one asset class that in the midst of a pandemic, the government is willing, before you drown, they're willing to throw in a float to keep your assets alive. Can you share with me any asset class that the government will save? Can you let me know? If you have, you can type in the comments, right? Is there any asset that you say, okay, the property market is, or any asset that's not good, the government will help you increase the price? I don't see that happening, but I see that only happening in the real estate market, and I'm very specific in the real estate market in Singapore. Okay, the government has thrown in floats, not just one, floats to help Singapore property, sustain and maybe to even appreciate. So this is something that we must first understand. Okay, and this is limited, to Singapore. So we're not talking about any other country's real estate. So I can't be bothered whether any other country's real estate dropped by 10-20%. I will never take precedence from them, because this is limited to Singapore. Okay, this is how our government is saving 91% of homeowners. Okay, because we have a home ownership rate of 91% in Singapore, so the government cannot allow this to fail, right? So they actually came out with this float to help Singapore. So what kind of floats am I talking about? So this is the first float that you see, right? On the 26th of March, 2 months ago, they came out with a lot of what we call the resilience budget, right? Near to 60 billion already, to actually help Singaporeans tide over the crisis. Okay, and then on the 26th of March, that was when COVID wasn't even like full bloom yet, right? So they're just like worried people are worried. They are worried about people worrying. So they actually came up with packages even before people start to worry, even before prices were to happen or change, right? They really start to have this kind of safety net already. Also, this is the bigger news then. On the 31st of March 2020, MAS actually announced to allow individuals to defer their property loan. Okay, I say again, on the 31st of March, MAS actually introduced, to allow individuals to defer their property loans all the way up to the end of 31st December 2020. So from now it's already May, right? So from May to December, homeowners can actually defer their installment, choose to pay their installment or not, all the way up to December. So for those currently who are homeowners, for those who are affected by it, you can actually speak to your banks. They will actually allow you cash flow, okay, not by not paying installment all the way to December. Okay, so this will be, but of course you still need to pay your money end of the day. It's just delay payment only. Okay, so you see, these are things that government actually came up with, to help Singaporeans tide over this period. So this is things. This is what we call government intervention. So I always call it the Singapore float. I like to have fun with things that are happening also. Okay, so all these policies. So of course, people will say, "Hey, will we see price dropping? How much will it drop?" As mentioned, we cannot predict. Okay, we cannot foresee. But what we can share with you is that we don't think we will see anytime soon. Why? Okay, first, as mentioned, okay, there is this resilient budget. Okay, so this resilient budget is actually what? To help support our job markets. It's also to help businesses to avoid any potential job loss, right? So with jobs still available, I don't think you will see much changes. Okay, so urgent sales are not expected. With that, because unemployment rates remain low. So unemployment rate is also something that we are always monitoring. Okay, so this provides homeowners with more holding power. So today, people are still having their jobs. They can still work from home. Okay, as mentioned, we are probably only left with 2 more weeks before people can actually go out and do their work. Of course, it will not be business as usual, but we can say that it will be better than today, right? So it will be definitely better than today. So this is the first thing why we would have more support into the prices. So on second, okay, you can see that as what I mentioned, homeowners with residential loans can apply with their respective banks to refinance or defer their principal or interest or both all the way up to December 31st. So you can delay everything all the way up to the end of this year. Okay, so this is the second thing. So the third thing, which actually happened like a few days ago. So for developers, there's also a safety net. So there are some floats for them also. So for developers, okay, for those, okay, they actually allow an extension for project completion by 6 months. Okay, they actually let them, have more time for their completion for 6 months. And also, the extension of time by 6 months for the start and completion, and also in relation to the ABSD remission. So, this is just to let developers have some lifeline that, hey, you do not need to do your urgent sales, So these are things that protect prices from crumbling. Okay, so these are policies that what we call government interventions that government is helping to sustain this period. Okay, so we will not see like, wow, huge discounts. I don't see anything happen like that. Okay, so and of course, okay, we had our SSD, what we call the seller stamp duty, and our TDSR policies and framework in place since 2013, right? And even before, they were all in place, and it has been there for so long that it had actually sieved out investors already. So all these years, the people that are investing are those with holding power. Those without holding power, they are already out of the market already. They're buying other asset class already. Okay, so these policies act as a safety mechanism. Okay, all these years. So that's why today you can see, even with a COVID situation, over the last quarter, there was only a drop by 1%. Okay, if you look at stocks and shares, it probably dropped by 30%, right? 25, 30, sometimes even 40. So that is the difference between real estate and the different asset classes. Okay, so and I'm only specifically talking about Singapore. Okay, no other countries involved. Okay, so this acts as a safety mechanism which prevents homeowners from irrational decisions, right? We have the SSD framework. Those who bought 1 year ago, they can't sell within 3 years. If not, they get tax, right? They get tax. So you don't see people, oh, tomorrow I want to sell. I want to have urgent sale. So these are things that are already in place. So people have the mindset of, I have the holding power to hold a bit long. So these are the reasons why we may not see prices plummet. Okay, these are all genuine reasons. Okay, so I hope prices don't plummet also. All right. So these are the frameworks that we have in place to justify what we say. Okay, as you can see, okay, what I usually say is that the bulls will actually outrun the bears. Okay, the bulls meaning all your bull market, all your profits, okay, all your long-term appreciation will actually outperform all your downsides. You can see, yes, the market ups and downs, but over a period, if you look at it, okay, over a period of 5 years, you will not see any negative situations in property market. So if you look at any 5-year benchmark, you can see most of the time, okay, how you look at the chart, no matter how you take the chart, I don't think you will see a lot of negatives. Even if you bought during 2013, 15 quarters, okay, it went down. Yes, it went down, but after that, it came up again. So if you look at the investment at the 5-year window, 8 years window, I don't think we will see you losing your money at all. Okay, so that's why real estate, the beauty of real estate in Singapore, is basically the longer your investment, the lower your risk. Okay, so this is something I want to share with our investors or home buyers, right? The longer your investment horizon, the lower your risk. You just have to wait for the upside. Okay, and for those who are first-time buyers, first-time investors, we will also suggest you to really be very active to look into the property market today. Because why? Okay, it is, okay, after every crisis, real estate will rebound even stronger, whatever the crisis. And this becomes a new opportunity for a new generation to rise. Okay, there's always an opportunity for every generation, to have an opportunity. So that every generation, please, don't miss out anything. Okay? Our life is short. Every 10 years, we will have lesser hair already. So you see, every 10 years is an opportunity. When was the last time you see such a pandemic where everybody is kept at home? And if we can survive this pandemic, trust me, other stuff, I don't think we can get worse than 2 months not going out already. Okay, so really look into the property market, go all out, go and search for your investments, for whatever you want, go out and look at it since you're all at home today. Okay, so I hope this it's insightful sharing, because I want to pass on this session actually to our project IC Serene to talk a little bit about the project itself. Okay, Serene, can you unmute yourself? Are you ready for it? Can you unmute yourself first?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, but a little bit echoey. Yeah. Can you
better now? Is it better?
No, you gotta put your mic. Is it okay just now? You can put back your microphone. Yeah, because it's a bit echoey. Yeah.
Is it better?
Yeah. Yes, much better.
Great.
Okay, so hold on now. Let me just click to the next page first. Let me just switch the thing a little bit. Okay, so I think thanks everyone. So I'll just leave now this session to Serene. So Serene, whenever you want to say next page, just let me know. Yeah, sure, thank you. No all the way, Serene.
Okay, this is a general perspective of Olloi. Then I'll share with you where exactly the location is too. This is on the site of about 26,000 square feet land size. Next, Alex. As you can see, this is actually a drone shot. We are not saying that you can see the sea, but it's just that it is actually in all the heritage conservation houses around Joo Chiat area, where it's rich in the heritage culture too. Okay, this is where Olloi is. It is also situated in between two MRT stations, the Paya Lebar station and Eunos MRT station. So for Paya Lebar MRT station, you should know that there is this mall, the upcoming mall PLQ, and there is also Paya Lebar Square. We are also near to the shopping mall of 𝐻𝐋𝐋𝐿. So in terms of amenities, I think eateries along Joo Chiat area, I think you have got plenty of that too. And we are in the prime district of 15. Okay, some description of the developer, 𝐃16 development. They are actually from the background of Good Glass Bungalow, building Good Glass Bungalow, and 3A King Albert Park and 23 King Albert Park. These are a few of their work that the track record that they are having. Okay, this will be P+A, Park+Associates. This will be the architect for Olloi itself. Okay, this is the general elevation chart for the whole of Olloi itself. If you notice, they actually leave a lot of greenery in between the development. They actually space out and they don't actually park the units side by side compared to most development. We are also having an underground parking, which is a one-to-one parking. In total, we have 34 units in this development. So one-to-one parking will be 34 parking lots as well. And the plus point of it is underground parking. So you don't have to worry that you do not have enough parking lots, you know, for the residents. And then end up you have to obtain parking lots that's outside the development itself. As you can see, like the 4-bedroom of stack 07 and 08 itself is kind of like they are on its own. So that is why they have got this term of elevated bungalow in the air. It also promotes cross ventilation of the air that most of the units will enjoy that is not parked side by side. This is how the developer having a Good Glass Bungalow background understand how important the space are to the residents and the people staying in the unit. There has a lot of light as well, light flow. This is a night perspective. We are having a 25-meter lap pool, a generous one. This is how the developer did not actually maximize the efficiency of the land, giving more space for facilities, greenery to the whole development itself. Next. Okay, this is something which most of you will be interested to know. The price, okay. Let's compare prices around District 15 since Olloi is in District 15 itself. Olloi is a freehold development and we are looking at it from the smallest unit, which is a 3-bedroom plus Flexi. The Flexi, which allows you to convert it to a utility room or a study room, okay, of 947 square feet. Look, we have prices from 1.6 million. If you're looking at other freehold development in Amber area in District 15, for this space, look at how much the PSF is. This too. Even when we compare to a unit of 99 years in District 15, which is seaside residences, it's 1,008 PSF. Yes, it's slightly bigger, but in terms of the quantum, it's easily another 400 over K. So this is how attractive price Olloi is priced at. Okay, now we compare to our neighbor development, which is Park+, which is across the road. For Park+, is in District 16, a 99 leasehold property. The 3+ Flexi itself is 958 square feet, very similar to our size, and they are actually priced at 1.5 million, which is very near to our pricing at Olloi. So it seems like you're buying a freehold at a leasehold price too. Now we move on to the 4-bedroom because for Olloi itself is from 3+ Flexi to 4-bedroom size. For 4-bedroom size, I think we have a very generous space of a size of 1,335 square feet. Comparing to Amber Park at 1,003 square feet, it is near to another more than $500,000 difference in pricing. So though, yes, both are freehold and also in District 15, but this is the price difference that you are having between these two developments. Okay, seaside residences, the 4-bedroom are sold out, so we don't actually indicate the pricing here. So then we compare to something similar to our neighborhood Park+Associates. For 4-bedroom at 1,119 square feet, in terms of pricing, I think it's also lower, but the PSF wise is pretty similar because of the square feet. If it's 1,003 square feet to 1,001 square feet difference. But in terms of PSF, we are also very near to it. So it's also again like buying a freehold property at leasehold price. So this is how attractive Olloi is being priced at. And it's a low density development, which some people enjoy the quietness in it. 34 units. Yeah. But the available units we have now is about 20. We are down to 20 units left. So exclusive 20 new owners, homeowners to these 20 units. Maybe next we will share more on the layout, how efficient the layout is at Olloi. Alex? Yes. This is a 3-bedroom plus flexi. And in the show gallery itself, we are also having the mock-up of this layout too. If you notice, we have got this bedroom 2, which is similar to like an ensuite or a guest room, which is away from the master room that gives you the privacy for a guest bedroom. And then it can be ensuite where the attached bath, because it's a Jack and Jill style of the bathroom doors. Okay. I think most people are very concerned in today's layout, as in sometimes they give you an open kitchen. However, this is a very nice enclosed kitchen that we have for the homeowners at Olloi. So with windows as well, enclosed kitchen with windows, which I think Asians still love our 𝐃𝐢𝐬𝐭𝐫𝐢𝐿. You love your cooking, and then you will prefer to have a windows too. Yeah, this is how efficient the layout is, giving most homeowners. Next, we move on to this flexi room, which I think is good enough to be a utility room or helper room or study room, depending on your family size. And this flexi room is actually air conditioned too. So if you want to have like a work area here, you don't have to worry about being suffocated in it as well, because the air condition is actually installed too. I think one of the things is that if after circuit breaker, you have a chance to visit the show flat itself, you will notice our ceiling height for the development here is from 3.15 meter. 3.15 meter is considered very generous ceiling height compared to most of our neighbors' development, which I think is about 2.8, 2.85 meter, or even 2.9 meter. But at Olloi itself is from 3.15 meter, and some of the units having 3.25 meter, and of course our double ceiling unit is up to 6 meter ceiling height. So this will add on to the spaciousness of the unit too. Next, we move on to the master bedroom and bedroom 3. If you notice, this is what the most efficient layout of dumbbell itself. So you don't actually waste space, walkway along your walkway. So, and actually giving you, if I think you only need 2 bedrooms, you have the option of expanding your living area to bedroom 3 as well. I think for the brightness of the unit is actually good in the sense that all the hall and master bedroom and bedroom 3 itself having full glass sliding door that you can access to the balcony area. This will actually make the whole unit brighter too. I think, yeah, basically I can say though is the 3-bedroom plus flexi itself is well organized in the sense. Of course, we have other layout like 3 plus flexi and plus utility for family that has a stay-in helper with them and they still want the flexibility of the flexi room. So for participants that is joining us as a buyer, you can actually check out more from your agents that actually invited you here for other alternative layout too. But this is one of our so-called smallest unit available at Olloi, 947 square feet. Next, I can actually show you a video, a drone shot. The highest level is 5th floor. I will show you on the third level what kind of view that you actually enjoy, you know, on the third level itself. Alex, next, the video. Yes, you can play the video. So on the third level, because in Joo Chiat area, there are most of them are actually houses, which is only 2-story high. Can you play the video? You try to play the video. And on the third level,
I can't play the video. Yeah.
Okay. So this is actually the view that you'll be getting on the third floor unit. Because firstly, our ceiling height is 3.15 meter and is elevated as well. So overall, in terms of the level, is kind of pretty high. So this is a third floor view that you actually clear most of the houses that is opposite you. And this is a south facing unit. Okay, next we move on to the 4-bedroom of 1335 square feet. For 1335 square feet, it is on its own. If you notice, when you walk in, we have windows by the side of the walkway. Firstly, this promotes cross ventilation and also brightness into the living area as well. And for this, we have a utility room for your stay-in helper if you have one, and not compromising on your storage in the home shelter space, which is very useful where you have got, you need storage, you can, you know, store a lot of things in it. Instead of thinking, oh, where's my helper going to stay in with together with the storage, you know, with the items being stored in the home shelter. So this is how the developer put into the needs of the consumer when they actually build the whole development together with the architect. Having a wet and dry kitchen in 4-bedroom as well. Yeah. Later, we'll show you some perspective of how the 4-bedroom will actually look like as well. That is a artist impression that the developer has done up too. Okay. Moving on to the bedroom, as you can see, all common rooms can fit a queen size bed. And of course, in the master, you can have a king size bed. Again, all bedrooms are actually with drop down full height glass windows, sliding door that leads to the balcony that promotes brightness. That's very bright for the unit. Even the junior suite itself, the junior master bedroom 2, if you notice, you have got a small balcony for more privacy. It's also ensuite where it's a shared bathroom as well, that you can actually choose to close up the doors and become an ensuite. I think this is how a 1335 square feet 4-bedroom actually will actually give the homeowners the space that you actually enjoy. So maybe you can show the perspective, Alex, of the 4-bedroom. This is the living area and of 0207 on the 2nd floor that faces the pool. You can actually request from your the agent that actually invited you for this virtual show flat as well. Yeah, this is the window we are referring to that will actually promote lights into the dining area. And the cross ventilation. Yes, the king size master bed. This is how an elevated bungalow will feel like, where your master bedroom will have, you know, is elevated in the air, in the sky, and then you don't have, you don't actually look into another unit in your development because they are individually spaced out, not parked side by side. And having the windows will promote the brightness of the unit and cross ventilation. Yeah. So this is a king size bed that, you know, you can put in your master room. I've come to the end of the general description. So maybe we can have some Q&A to the development and also to the market for Alex to answer.
Yep. Okay. Thanks, Serene. Hope you guys had a insightful, you know, learning of the market and also what Olloi actually has to provide. Okay, just to recap a bit, Olloi is on a District 15 freehold, right? So it's a boutique development that, you know, for clients actually looking for a lot of you know, what we call peace and privacy. You know, yes, it's always good to look into boutique projects like Olloi. Okay, so there's a difference between big and small developments. So for those who don't like all the noise, you know, this is the kind of development that, you know, you should be going for. And of course, I can see my virtual background. For those who can see, this is actually the 4-bedroom master room, right? So it looks very nice, right? With full privacy. And yeah, again, I think privacy today is very important, right? If not, you're always looking face to face. Okay, so these are the things that you can actually get from Olloi. We have some of them having instead of having 3 walls, the developer actually have 3 side windows. So these are small little differences that you can actually get from a typical apartment, because I can say it's something special. Most of the developments we see are just maybe 3 walls, 1 window. Now this time around, we're going to see 3 windows, 1 wall, or some even 4 windows all around the perimeter, the boundary of the apartment itself. Okay, so do take some time to look into the floor plans together with your agents, and hopefully, after the thing recovers, you can actually make a request to view our show flat on site by appointment basis. Okay, so there will be show flats available, show suites for you to take a look at the representation of the units itself. Okay, so thank you everyone. So up to now, anyone got any questions that you can actually type into the Q&A. So okay, so
facilities. Okay, for facilities wise, we also have the gym, we have a barbecue pavilion, and yeah, I think 25-meter lap pool. I think for 34 units, development is considered generous itself. And of course, we also have the perspective of the gym itself, which is on the first level. Yeah, and the barbecue pavilion too. Yeah.
Okay, so we only left with 20 units, right, Serene?
20 units, yes.
Yeah, so sold 14 units already. Yep. So
yes.
Okay, so we have other questions. Will government leave ABSD? Wow, that's a very good question. So out of the questions, I just want to answer, those that I like to ask. Will government lift the ABSD for buyers? Okay, if you ask me, my own personal take is this: the buyers will lift the ABSD only if the market drops by more than 10%, because that's the kind of average ABSD that the buyers are paying. Okay, so if the market doesn't drop, then no, the ABSD will remain. Okay, so this is how government works, right? If the market drop, they will do something to make the market recover again. But of course, if the prices continue to be the same or increase, maybe they will still increase their ABSD right now. So if property market increase by another 10% within a year, then they will increase ABSD, not just remove. So I think what we're looking at is the truth of the matter. So this is how the government intervention works. I hope this answers your question, Kevin. So any other questions you want to put into the Q&A? Let me see. So how many show flats are there, Serene?
1, the 3+ Flexi.
Yeah. Oh, so there's a 3+.
Will be more of a virtual, yeah, the VR kind that we actually just showed, and we can share the link with you, with your agents that invited you to view.
Yeah. So, sorry, any other questions there?
The origin of Olloi, are you referring? Oh, okay. This is actually an en bloc development of the former Pomex Court. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a former en bloc.
Yes, that's how you get the freehold land too.
Yep.
Which is rare. Any other questions? Alex, do you see any?
Any function room?
No, there is no function room.
Okay, no function, but we have the gym. Yeah.
Yeah, the barbecue pavilion, the kids pool, jacuzzi, gym, accessible washroom, bicycle parking. Yeah, sheltered and non-sheltered gardens. That's what you can see. If you look at the overall facilities, they actually provide a lot of greens in the development. They did not do 100% efficiency to the whole land size too.
Yeah. So I also want to add on to Jenny's question, the origin of Olloi. Because it's an en bloc, that's why you get a small development, and that's why you're able to get a freehold. Okay, so if you look at if it's a GLS, a government land sales, moving forward, you will no longer have any freehold new launches. Okay, I say again, there will not be any more freehold new launches if it's a government land. You can only get freehold new launches if it's en bloc. Okay, so that's why in the East, now this is an en bloc. That's why you still can get a freehold brand new. Okay, so this is why I would say it's always good to buy into a newer project. You get to enjoy everything brand new in terms of innovation, in terms of design, in terms of lifestyle. This is to fulfill our own dreams. Yep, something new. Okay, the show flat, it's at the actual place. Yes, it's on site, but of course it's closed. Yep.
Yeah. So do make appointment with the agent that invited you.
Yep. Oh. So maintenance fee, do you have the list now?
Maintenance fee, it is very attractive. If we talk about the 3-bedroom maintenance fee itself, it is from 250. Sorry, apologies, 350.
So it's around 350 for a 3-bedroom in terms of maintenance fee, which is fairly decent. Yeah, I think it's decent.
Yeah. For 34 units, basement parking. Of course, they use, it's a basement parking. As you can see from my virtual background, there's a gate there that links you to your basement parking. I think most of the development in this Joo Chiat area itself, if you notice, they are open parking or mechanical parking.
Yep, but this one basement parking.
Yes. This is what a lot of people have their concern with, and that's how developer is actually willing to give the comfort to the homeowners.
Yeah, so I personally like the bedroom. That's why I put it as a virtual background. Yeah, or you can see a lot of light, a lot of greens. Okay, yeah. So yeah, visitor lots are basically. Are there any visitor lots, Serene?
Visitor lot at the moment, no, they are actually giving a 34 parking lots plus 1 accessible lot. So yeah.
But most of the time, I think for most projects, you will not see 100% what we call owners owning cars. Okay, so I think yeah, during those times on and off, I think there will always be pockets of what we call car park space. Yep. So not to worry so much about that. There's a 1-to-1 is very good because nowadays in the city you do see developments that probably only have 70-80% car park lots. Okay, some maybe every quarter they need to ballot for it. Okay, so I think we are probably at the acceptable range, 1-to-1 parking. Okay, we take another 1 or 2. If not, then we will actually end the session. Time check now, it's 12 p.m. Okay. Let me see if I can play the video. Can you send me the video directly so that we can end it off with a video? Let me see. So you want to send to the chat the video, so I just play it before we end.
Okay, let me play the video on my part. The whole. Okay,
just send it to the.
Yeah, Celine.
Celine can play her. Okay, Celine, you may want to play. So I guess thank you so much, everyone. Celine will play the video, and after the video, we will end. Any question, please look back for your preferred ERA agent. And thank you so much. My name is Alex, and we have Celine. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you,
everyone. Yes, please roll the video. Thank you so much.